Hey everybody, today I'm here again to share with you and 3 ways in which the spirit of lust drew me away from God. And before we dive into that, please, if you've not subscribed to my YouTube channel, please do that. And of course, comment and share your life experiences, your own life experiences, because we are here to learn from each other. I'm here to learn from you, and you are here to learn from me as well. And let's get hooked up together. Yes, so in today's episode, I'm gonna share with us how the spirit of lust drew me away from God, how I let it draw me away from God. And of course, this is from my own experience. You can read resources from outside that give different ideas. People have different experiences, but this is my own experience. And yes, we all know that the spirit of lust is one of the things that really is so destructive, more so to a Christian child, or more so to a Christian person. And if you really want to run away from it, if you really want to do away with it, then it takes a lot, way too much for you to overcome it. And is it forgiven by God? Yes, definitely it is forgiven by God. And it's only after you give in, you surrender your life to Jesus Christ, after you say, okay God, I welcome you, I think I've had enough of torture. And then he's like, okay, my hands are here, I'm coming for you. Yes, so how does this really drive me away from God? Of course, this spirit of sin affects many people in many different ways. And then there are two categories of people, I would say. There are those who gratify themselves while in this situation, and there are those who struggle to move away from that situation because it does not identify with them, it does not correlate with their own personal values, and it does just it kind of delays their spiritual growth, financial growth, and even physical growth. Yeah, because it keeps you in that cocoon of not exploring the life to a depth of getting to really getting that understanding of living a purposeful life. And one of the ways that it drew me away from God is I became so judgmental. Yes, we are all in this world of waking up. Some people are like on level 1, level 2, level 3, but the main reason that we are all here, we are all travelers who are helping each other go home. Yeah, so in this journey, we have to help each other go home, reach home. And that is what makes us lovable humans. And how we do that is now what really what really stands out. So I became judgmental in a way that, because I was so much eager to come out of this sin, I tried in the most effective ways I thought were working, but it never really happened. Instead, I stood in a position of doing God's work. The Bible says, do not judge people of the world. Do not judge your friends. And that is what I felt. So because I was trying to come out of this, and the other person never really felt like they were willing to come out of this. They were instead gratifying themselves. They were instead boosting in that state. They were like, oh yes, I can win the world. Like all these people, I've been with them, I've known them to the core, and that was making them happy. To the contrary, to this other side, I was like, but that is not nice, that's not right. Yeah, so I would instead judge them. thinking that they were doing wrong. In the book of Romans, it says, all have fallen short of God's glory, so no one is clean. We are all sinners. But I could not see that because I was trying to run away, and these people were feeling good in that state. Yes, was I doing a right thing? No. Of course, to the outside, it looks like, oh yes, I am trying to pull them away, to bring them away, tell them the truth. Yet I was forgetting my own self. Yes, and yes, the second thing that really happened that drew me away from God is I stood in the way for those people to develop. I was instead doing God's work because I was trying to be very judgmental towards them and not focusing on my own, imperfections, my own spirit, that I would get really effective ways that were pleasing to God to overcome them. I was instead standing in the way. So let's take it this way. If I had taken that time, that energy to work on me and change, they would have seen the example from me. They would have gotten the example from me, and that alone would change them. But instead, I stood in the way. Remember when Jesus was telling the Pharisees, why do you stand on the way for people? First of all, the Pharisees didn't want to change. They didn't want to accept the word that Jesus was preaching to them, and yet they did not want the other people as well to get to understand the word. So they were standing in the on the door, obstructing, causing jam for the other people. And this is exactly what I was doing. I was preventing these people to develop, to develop on their own. I was taking up God's work. I was trying to stand in God's position, which is another sin on its own. So that kind of drove me away from God, because I could not see my own imperfections rather than see the other people's. So we were kind of all left in that lingering state. Yeah. So the third thing is it confused me. I put myself in a state of confusion because now I didn't know what was right. I was trying as much as I could to run away from this state, from this situation, and yet I had the other opponents of mine kind of feeling good in it, and it confused me. Leave alone that I used coping mechanisms that were not right, like impulsive spending, giving unsolicited advice, advice that was not even coming from experience. Okay, maybe experience, but wrong experience, with ignorance. So it kept me in a state of confusion. I didn't know where to go, I didn't know where to run, and time went on, and I ended up losing myself as well. And I was like, no, I think I need to revamp. I need to really find the true definition of living. I need to really find my identity. That's when I kind of became very, very serious and went on a prayer hunt and gave my life to Jesus Christ, and he brought me out of it. And yes, right now, at least I'm speaking from a point of experience, like concrete experience. And yes, listen up. Yeah. Is the sin of lust forgiven? Yes, it is forgiven. I am a living testimony. God forgave me. Jesus forgave me. He died for my sins and forgave me. And how? Because I repented. I gave my life to him and he forgave me. You too can be forgiven. I know. It kind of drags you down. You feel like you never fit in. Those little voices coming to you saying, no, you can never change. No, you can never change. No, you can change. And only if to give your life to Jesus Christ. And the time is now. I know you are tired, but hey, the time is now. He did it for me. He can do it for you. Give your life to Jesus Christ. Thank you so much. Blessed.